Hello everyone, my name's Jessie and I'm going to be presenting my pitch for Best Buddies during quarantine. So basically the synopsis is that I want to be telling the stories of individuals and how their pets have helped them through the global pandemic of COVID-19. And I want to do this through a photo series, videos and text because I think that all three of those together really help create that story. So the context and background, it's current, it's happening now. So it'll take place in the time after the COVID-19 pandemic, which is still technically happening, but it's after that peak period. And what I mean by that is the relaxation of lockdown restrictions. You know, everyone's still wearing masks. We're still practicing the 1.5 meter rule. However, we're not locked in our houses at the moment. You know, it's going into the summer of 2020, which is also going to be a pretty hectic summer considering last year's bushfires. But all in all, it's a time where the world is just starting to get back to normal. So I want to talk about the multi-platform form. So as I said before, it's going to include a photo series and brief story from the owners about the impacts of their pets on their life, from living a normal life and then to living a life in lockdown with their pet. And this is going to be done on a website. So the website's also going to include that short video and audio excerpts of the owner and their furry friend, whether it's a dog, a cat, a lizard, a bird, you know, whatever it be. And then from there, I want to start a hashtag on Twitter to help develop the story and create awareness about the project. I don't think I'm going to be making a Twitter account, but if the hashtag does get a lot of hype, then a Twitter account could be on the cards as well. But instead of a Twitter account, I wanted an Instagram page with multiple photos of the talent per post, and that is doable on Instagram due to the ability to add multiple photos per post. And the caption will be a small excerpt of something that the owner has said. And I think that having Instagram and the hashtag on Twitter will bring people over to the website, which is where the majority of the information is, but it's also its own self form of the story, and they don't need to go to the website to enjoy the hashtag or the Instagram account. Now, co-creation. So basically each individual member will find their own talents, or they can work together with other team members. Basically I want them to take pictures, recordings of the talents, but I also want to gather the past pictures and videos of the pair for context. And telling the story as a group is definitely going to have the greatest reach in the community, as well as include a variety of talents and stories. You know, therefore leaving a great impact on the audience because they're not just from the one town or, you know, even maybe the one household, you know, they're from all over. And if a group member is actually better suited to managing the pages and posts, and they can be designated to that job, you know, that would include putting the posts up on the website, user engagement on Instagram and Twitter, and just making sure that everything's up to date and everything's fitting in with how we want our story to go. So the characterization and attitude. So basically the stories are going to follow that feel-good format where group members recognise the tough situations that the individuals have been through, but we want to really focus mainly on the positive outcomes, you know, how much these pets have helped their owners get through those tough situations. I believe that during this time the world needs some good, happy stories, and focusing on humanity will attract an audience across multiple mediums. Weekly or fortnightly stories will give the audiences something to look forward to. They'll be released the same time on each platform. You know, I'm not sure how the weekly or fortnightly stories will go, but even just a follow-up story would be really great. So basically, how is this a transmedia story? So Henry Jenkins says that a transmedia story unfolds across multiple media platforms, with each new text making a distinctive and valuable contribution to the whole. In the ideal form of transmedia storytelling, each medium does what it does best. So, like I've said before, all forms will be self-contained, including the Instagram page, Twitter hashtag and website. Each platform will add to the discussion of the story. The Instagram and Twitter accounts will allow for greater discussion of the stories with more accessible commenting section than the website. Now, the website does have a commenting section, but it does feel a bit odd commenting on a website, whereas Instagram and Twitter, they just are so much better at user engagement. And the website will include more excerpts and pieces of the stories. Being large and well-rounded, it will contain all of the information. yeah, so, and then the design aesthetic. So I really wanted all the platforms to be highly minimalistic and user friendly. I don't want it to be cluttered, you know, if this design aesthetic. So all platforms will be highly minimalistic and user friendly. You know, I don't want anything to be too cluttered, and I want the focus to be on the photos of the owners and their pets. And I want it to be really like cute and fluffy, you know, that because that's what pets are, and all posts should be very light. So now just onto the proof of concept. So this is what I've got so far for a website. This is just my first story and it's the featured post. But then we go down to my other stories that I've already got lined up. And then we'll go to Scott and Buster, which I've done the most work on so far. So here we have, they've been together for a short 6 months, but these two crazy wild boys have created a bond during the pandemic that will be hard to break. And I've got photos of them, you know, now, and then as they've all, you know, they've grown up together a bit, I suppose. And there's some really cute photos in there. But then we've just got the history of the owner and the dog. And then I've got some really good quotes here about how much this little puppy means to the owner. But I do want to put in some videos and some audio excerpts in there. And each couple will have their own blog post with all of their own photos. So yeah, if anyone has any questions, just let me know, and I'd be really, really happy to do this with some people, because I think we all know a lot of people that have stories similar to this, and I know a lot of people who have actually bought dogs during quarantine like Scott. So yeah, thank you.